Welcome to Raj Online Trainings. In the series of UI Full Stack Web Development, today let us go with one more very important topic under HTML, that is how to create tables. Now, let us understand what is the meaning of a table. So, a table is what? It's a collection of data in the form of rows and columns. For example, here we are going with a table with the rows and columns. Now, in this one, this we call it as a table. Here, we go with the content, like the headings of your table, like book ID. I want to go with bold here, so we'll say book ID, book name, then book price. This we call as the table headings. So under this, we want to go with the data like book ID 111, book name, learn HTML, book price, some 500, then book ID 222, book ID 222, then book name, learn CSS, and price, some 400. One more book ID 333, learn JavaScript, and some price. Now this is how the table looks. In this one, this we call it as the table headings. This first row we call it as the table headings. The headings will be bold here. Table headings. This we call it as what? Table headings. The content will be bold here. Now, this three, this 111 learn HTML 500, 222 learn CSS 400, 333 learn JavaScript 800. This we call it as table data. Table data. When we say table data, the data is not bold. It won't be in bold here. Now every box we call it as a cell. This is called as cell. This is called as cell. This also we call it as cell. We call them as cells here. Now, how to create this table in HTML? Let us understand now. Let us define what is a table. The HTML table allows to present the data in the form of rows and columns. In the form of what? Rows and columns. Right? I've shown how the table looks using the diagram here. Now, in order to create the table, we use the table tag here. Table tag. So by using this table tag, use it to create a table. We can create a table using this tag. Wearing one more tr. Use it to create a table row. To create a table row, we use tr. Th. Use it to create a table heading. Table heading. Content will be, or to create a cell, the content will be bold here. TD tag, use it to create a table data. This is also to create cell, but the content is not bold here. Let us understand this with the example program. Let me say book table.html. Open Visual Studio Code. Create a new file. I'm going with the name book table.html. Go with the template of HTML. Let us go with the name as book table, the title. Now in the body tag, we'll say table tag, then create a table row. In the first row, we go with the table heading like book ID, then one more table heading, book name, then book price. This completes our first row. where we go with headings. Then again I want to create a new row, table data under book ID 111 under book name learn HTML under book price sum 500. Like that we can create multiple rows. Let me change the data 222 learn CSS and 400. 333 learn JavaScript 800. Now open this file in browser, right click and say open in browser. So here we are getting the data in tabular format. Now we want to go with the border lines. We want to go with the border lines for your table. So when we see borders only, we feel like a table. So in order to go with the border lines, we use the attribute border equal to some border. So we have to go with a value like 2 or 3, something like this, the size of your border. Now see, when we refresh your page, we get the table with borders. Now, so border is one of the attribute here. So let us see the attributes present for your table. Attributes of table tag. One of the attribute is border. What is the use? Use it to provide the border for the table and cells. Carrying one more, like cell padding to represent the distance between cell borders and content within the cell. We are having one more attribute, cell spacing to represent or to define space between table cells. To define the space between table cells, we go with cell spacing. Then we are having one more attribute, BG color, to provide the background color for the table. Now let us see these attributes. So already we have seen border. Let us go with the cell padding equal to, I'll say some 4. Then cell spacing equal to some 4. Now, refresh your page. Here we get the gaps here, that gaps between your cell border, cell spacing, that the gap between your cells, we call it as cell spacing, and the gap between your content and the cell borders, the content of the cell, we call it as cell padding here. Now, if I want to give some background color for your table, then we can use the attribute bg color equal to some color, let us say some pink. Once we refresh your page, the background of your table will be pink here. Now, we are having one more tag called as caption. We use this caption along with the tables inside the table element, that is used to provide the title for the table. To provide title for your table, we use this caption tag here. Under this table, we can go with the tag caption. Caption will say like book details. Now see, when we refresh your page, we get the caption for your table like book details. Now, let us move to the next concept under this tables. We are having two more important attributes over here. Like column span and row span attributes. These are very, very important. The use of these attributes is, when you go with this column span, the use of this attribute is use it to merge two or more columns, or more columns into a single column. A row span used to merge two or more rows into a single row. So let us understand this with the program. Let me say like timetable.html. Open Visual Studio Code. Let us create a new file over here. Let me go with the name timetable.html. Go with the template. Now let me go with the title for this web page as timetable. Now in the body section, let us go with a table. I'm going with the border of the table as some 2. Then the background color, let me say some cyan. Now, here we are going with the caption of the table like time table. Let us create a table row. In the first row, we go with the table heading like period, the period number like this, period. Now I want to merge here. I want to merge the rows. So we'll say row span as 2. So we are going to merge 2 rows here. So when you want to merge the rows, we say row span as 2. 2 rows means row span as 2. Then we go with the table heading, one more table heading, where I want to go with the column span as 6. So let us suppose we are having days. So we go with 6 days here, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So for 6 days, I want to merge 6 days. So we'll say column span as 6 here. Now create a new row. Under this new row, we go with the table heading like Monday. Under this, we get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So since I want to merge these columns, that's the reason for this table heading. We are saying column span as 6 here. Now, let us go with the next one, like the remaining rows, table row. Here we go with the table heading like period 1. For this table data, so for Monday, we'll go with the period. Under Monday, we go with the period like English, table data, Hindi, Maths, Physics, Chemistry, and Computer. Like that, we have done one for one period. Like that, let us go with multiple periods. Let us go with some more rows here for period 2, period 3, and period 4. Period 2, period 3, and let us go with one more period 4. So totally, let us suppose we are having totally 4 periods. Now see, let us open this in the browser. I click and say open in browser. See these two rows are merged. These 2 rows are merged. That's the reason we use what here? Row span as 2 here. Row span as 2. Now, here one more column span. Since we want to merge these cells as a single cell, like days, here what we have used? Column span as 6 here. Since I want to merge 6 columns. Here what we are using, since we want to merge 2 rows, we are saying row span as what here? 2 here. So whenever you want to merge the rows, we use the attribute row span. Whenever you want to merge the columns, we go with the attribute column span. Right? So that's about how to make use of this row span and column span. These are very, very important. Right? So please practice this tables concept, very, very important in our web applications. We use more of tables. So that's about in this video. Please subscribe, like and share. Thank you.